Welcome to the CFG Gamecast, episode number 24, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Saturdays or Sundays and release it on podcast services like Apple and Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. So show us some love and follow us on our Podbean page, CFG Gamecast. Oh man, Google, I need to turn off Google when I say that because it always turns on when I say it. But you always check us out at cfggamecast.podbean.com to not miss an episode. All right, I am Davis Green with CFG Games, and with me today are two special guests. As always, we have the awesome Smitty 2447, aka the general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. How are you doing? Hello?
A lot of action going on, a lot of stuff happening. I know that everyone's been talking about blue stuff. I'm excited to jump into and talk about it and see what that is. Otherwise, game-wise,
no, my camera.
I got some
Sorry.
Got some DVD in this week, some Overwatch. I've been playing, and I know I've talked a lot of trash about Destiny 2, but I'm back on that grind. I Forsaken. Everybody it because it's free to play now. I feel good. It feels like home. It feels like home.
Feels like home. Nice. Okay, that's good. But I can't believe the amount of crap that you were talking about Destiny 2 last week.
It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, and you just came in.
It's gonna be bad.
Oh yeah, I know. You're very influential into new things. So I'm not surprised at all. But yeah, that's good. Well, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad that you're back because in about a month I'm going to probably try to start messing with that too when Stadia comes out. So we'll see how that goes. But that's awesome. All right, and in the Flexus's spot because Flexus is busy crushing it over at Undefeated 2019. I have a variety streamer that likes to play a lot of different kinds of games. I have Faye, aka Pompadour Princess. How are you doing?
I am doing great. If it sounds robot-y now, I'm sorry. My internet is having issues all of a sudden. Second we started.
You sound great. It was really Smitty.
Okay, cool.
Smitty sounded kind of robotic and delayed for a brief moment, but I think it kind of picked itself back up. Yeah, so it wasn't just you.
The stream crashed on me on my computer, so I was like, "Oh no, my internet's dying." But
oh no.
But yeah, I'm friends in real life with Flexus. I started streaming again. I attempted it a couple years ago, never really got much progress with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now I just it's irregular right now. I'm trying to get, just because my work schedule is very irregular, but I'm trying to work on eventually getting it to where I have like more of a steady schedule.
Hey, that's all you can do, you know? I mean, you got to try until you kind of figure out that groove. And but the best thing is that you're actually doing it. Because most people, even at this point in time, when they say, "Yeah, I want to do it," but you know, they kind of limit themselves. So if you're wanting to stream, give it a shot, see how it goes, and then you'll figure out when you can have time to do it. You know, so. But don't just keep.
And like after work, most of the time, I just go home and play video games. So I'm like, you know what? I could probably actually be streaming again.
Oh, there are days when you could just say, you know what? I don't want to turn on the computer. Don't want to turn on the cameras and just talk to people. I was like, sometimes you just want to sit down and play a game, and there is no harm in that. So I will say that firsthand.
But yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
I only get like a small couple of people at a time. I got raided once that actually brought it up, but like I enjoy it.
Oh yeah, see, I mean,
even if there's only one person watching, I feel like most of the time it's Flexus while she's at work.
Hey, we got one person special.
But
so,
I do got that one dedicated follower.
Hey, it starts with one.
That's where it starts.
It starts with one. Exactly right. Yeah, exactly. It starts with one, and then it gets better from there. So just keep it up. Oh, yeah, I know. And then I've been just ridiculously busy, as always. We just released people who checked out the Tokyo Game Show video. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the feedback that I got from that. That was an awesome video. I think I should start doing that when we go to conventions. I think people really do appreciate that kind of stuff. So I may start doing more videos on that. And then next week we're going to be releasing some pretty cool videos on some stuff that we got from a certain company. So definitely stay tuned for that at our website confreaksandgeeks.com, and you'll be able to see these really cool vids. And I guess while we do it, before we start going inside of it, on November 9th, Smitty is actually coming down to Arizona, and Flexus is going to be coming down, or he lives in Arizona, and I am flying to Arizona because I don't live there anymore either. We're going to all be there November 9th to do our 24-hour. This is going to be our third annual Extra Life. We have all the proceeds that that's being donated that day is going to go to the Phoenix Children's Hospital. So definitely, we're going to be giving away a lot of different things. We got prizes, we got keys, game keys, and stuff like that coming along. We want to hit our goal of $3,000, which awesomely, yesterday we are almost at $1,100, so we're a third of the way there. So definitely, if you come by, want to support for an awesome cause, go on November 9th. Go on twitch.tv/CFG Games. You'll see the CFG Gamecast crew together for 24 hours playing some awesome games. So let's stop the upselling and let's get into business. We got a lot to do with it. So let's go into it. And normally we usually have our guests to do the first interview, the first of the topics, but because obviously there's a big issue that happened this week, we're gonna change it up a little bit. But as always, though, each of us will pick a news topic of discussion within video games from the previous week. The topic would or could be about about something that was happened in the gaming industry or a specific game itself. And also, if you have something to say, don't keep it to yourself. Put it inside the chat. Smitty will check it out. If it's a really cool question or if it's a good comment, we'll put it inside the podcast with us, because we want to hear what you think about what we're talking about as well. So let's get down to it. Smitty, you're going to be the first one. What do you have to bring to the table?
So we've all heard about it. They've been talking about it all week. Blizzard, the whole them banning the champion from the Hearthstone. The champion during a speech made a political statement, and as far as the stuff that's going on in Hong Kong and whatnot, both the casters and the champion were all banned for a year. He lost his money, the winnings from it, because they're saying now what Blizzard's stance is that he broke rules that were already established. I'm guessing within a contract or something that they have to sign beforehand. But there's something specific to that they were saying it had nothing to do with China and their stakes and their money within China. And it's all about the fact that this person broke the rules. Now, since then, they have rescinded. They've gone back a little bit. They've reduced the ban down to 6 months, at least for the streamer. I don't know what they did, because the casters were also banned from Blizzard.
They were banned,
and all that stuff as well for a year. I believe it was a year.
They were fired. They weren't banned. They were fired.
Were fired?
Yeah, they were fired initially.
Yeah, they were straight fired.
Yeah.
So they got fired. Which is crazy. Which is absolutely bonkers. So that happened. Although they said that they're gonna reduce something, whatever it is, then that they were gonna reduce what their punishment was as well. And they said that the winner now is going to get his money for winning the tournament. I thought we had a discussion last night in stream. And somebody was talking about how Epic has a 44% stake in Blizzard, and we were like, well, maybe that has, that could have an influence on it as well. Where I today saw a statement from Epic saying, feel free to state your political statements on here because we're all about freedom of speech. So they made a hard stance. They are not the issue. That was all Blizzard and within Blizzard. So Epic had nothing to do with it. They have come out and said, we believe in freedom of speech. You would not be punished for expressing that in anything that we do. It's weird because the stance that Blizzard is taking is, this should be about the games and this and that. But it's hard not to think they do have a lot of, investors and stakes over there. And not only that, but their fan base, there's a big part of their fan base that's over there as well. So it's weird what kind of stance they're taking, because it seems like they are taking the stance of the government, or hey, we better shut the hell up because we don't want people to pull out of the investments or anything like that. Mm-hmm. However, it's like I kind of can see the other side of it as well, where it's like they're not taking any kind of stance, or they're trying not to take any kind of stance one way or the other. They're saying, hey, these were just our rules. As far as the political stuff, we're staying around or staying away from that.
Okay.
However, it just seems like the bans and stuff are really harsh, and it seems, like it seems like you are making a statement like, hey, you don't talk about China and whatnot, and this is just you just shut up and be compliant. So it's kind of weird, but Riot Games has also come out and said the same thing as Blizzard as well, that hey, we don't want any kind of political speech up in our shit. If that's the thing, you will be banned from our games and whatnot. So it's interesting that, and not only that, but this has gotten larger than just being a part of the gaming community and whatnot. This has turned into a much bigger international story where it's like, whoa, man, like, this is, people are looking at this. People are struggling. People are and we're in America where it's about freedom of speech and whatnot, and being able to, you have a platform to express yourself and express your beliefs. And it seems as though they have punished somebody for that. They said they didn't, but that's up to you. I'll let you guys be the.
Well, first off, I will say this though, because I think the person who said that Epic who is basically Tencent owns Epic. Is said that they had a 45% share. That is not right. That they don't own 45%.
That's not right.
Yeah, they own Tencent is a majority owner of Epic, but Tencent themselves do own Blizzard like 5%. It's like 4.9. It's small. They used to own 25% back in 2015, but then they sold their shares, or I think they lost their share thing from higher deal. But no, now their percentage is at 5%. So, but still 5% off of the whole global the Chinese economy. To say that Blizzard, Activision has space in China is still a large amount of people, and it's a very influential amount. And so overall, this is a mess. It's a mess that Blizzard made personally, but it is a mess nonetheless. There's the way I look at it is this: there are two things that happen. First off, I truly believe that you're right. Both sides were on both sides they were wrong. But the level of what Blizzard did to this dude about it was not the fact that it was clearly about money. It was clearly about money, right? Because there's no way that they could just
100% about money.
There is no way that one person that a company like Blizzard is saying, "Oh, you broke our guidelines and our rules. We're going to throw the book at you so we can discourage anyone else who has that kind of view to see what we're going to do to you on this." It was more like they were on DEFCON 5 when they saw that he was doing his stance about free Hong Kong, and then they were like, okay, we need to whitewash everything that this whole situation has touched, and we're going to definitely clear all of this clear this all out. And then Blizzard, being a big company, of course, is going to be will say that we do believe in freedom of speech, and then technically one of their things, one of their core values was about saying to be a free thinker of this, which is the irony of all of this to me. And then you see the strength of what they tried to do under this. Then is insane. Yes, he Blitzchung, who's the name of the character, the name of the player that this happened to, did break the rules technically under Blizzard's guidelines. Theoretically, they're right. That you're right. They did. He did. So he does deserve like some sort of a ban, but to go to the extent that they did on what they did, to say that they even went out of their way to fire the broadcasters on the interview, is like
that blows me away. It's like
that's what blows me away.
What, they didn't know.
Yeah, it's like what the heck are you on?
They just went like totally overboard with everything.
Yes. That's like
they can try and say it wasn't because of any reasons from the Chinese government, but like. Yeah. They went so unbelievably extreme with it that it's very obvious.
This was insane. Yeah, and that's like if you are in a bank and then a bunch of bank robbers come in with guns, and then the police arrest you as one of the civilians because the bank was stolen. It's like that. That's exactly the kind of level that Blizzard went through just so they can kind of clear this all up. And that is what makes it very, very discerning. And then and what sucks is that this situation, I don't think nothing is going to change from it because but what I think what this is going to do is I hope what this does is that it opens people's eyes on on what people are like what people are really getting into when China has this kind of power over, may not be over government, but surely over retail, surely over surely over anything like movies, all this stuff.
So much content is censored there.
Yeah, and content like straight content. It's insane. Like, remember Doctor Strange?
I haven't actually. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to keep on going. But you remember, like, I mean, think like movie influence is specifically because of China. Because like, it's just like the big issue was with Top Gun and his jacket. I never would have picked it up, but how people nitpick about like his jacket had the Taiwanese flag on it originally. They removed it and then they changed it to something else because they didn't want to offend any Chinese, anybody from China about it. Or Doctor Strange, technically I forgot her name, the girl who played the bald-headed monk, I forgot her name. Anyways, Tilda Swinton, yeah. Oh yeah. Tilda Swinton, technically the character was supposed to be a Taiwanese monk. that was supposed to be that whole position, but they didn't do it because they didn't want to offend China. Because if China pulled away all that money, then it's going to be really big repercussions. I mean, it's insane. I'm sorry. I stopped talking. Go for it, Pompadour.
Sorry, your mic cut out on my end, so I thought you finished talking.
Oh no.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's on me. Go for it.
But like even in Overwatch itself, I know they censor all the LGBT content. Like, there's no reference to any of that, and I haven't looked literally into it, like seen like. But apparently, a bunch of people have said that skin colors are lightened.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
On characters as well.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
And like,
that's crazy.
And then like, if they want to say it's not about China, they had that May statue coming out, the $175 statue. It's no longer on their shop. They took it down.
Yep.
Why is the May statue? Wait, what?
Because everyone's been trying to turn May into a free Hong Kong icon.
She's a symbol, dude. Yeah.
What? Yep. Oh, that black one. Oh, that what that was? Okay. Oh boy, yeah, it's a mess.
Yep. So that statue is no longer for sale.
Yeah.
Well, can you buy it in America or you can't buy it in China?
That's a good question. Let me check real quick. Yeah. It's definitely taken off one of the.
Oh, you can buy. I'm in it now because like I might want to just get it just to have the point, because.
Right, yeah.
Because
it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy how big this has gotten too. But I mean, absolutely, I think it's undeniable that this has everything to do with dollars in China and not trying to piss them off to make sure that the dollars keep flowing.
Yeah, it is gone even on the U.S. shop.
Oh wow!
Damn,
that's crazy.
It is not there anymore.
Wow, geez, it's annoying that you have a group. I mean, you know what? It's funny because like you expect people would want to say, okay, you have one side of a company that's saying, okay, we're totally for free business, like, you know, like and stuff like that. Then when that company is in part, it goes into business with a country that is completely, like, you know, run by the government. Like the business is technically run by the government itself, and they can just throw money at it, and then they have that much control over what you can and can't do at this location. You're gonna have to you're bowing down to that is what makes it really, really frustrating. It's like you're like you want to, like, you don't want to depend on you hate the rules, but you don't want to lose the massive market that China can bring. And then I'm like, there's some things that are just that's bigger than money at this point in time. Because if this is the things that are that stuff like this that's happening, like what's his name, the famous DJ that just got banned because they liked South Park.
Zed.
Yeah, Zed.
That one makes me laugh.
Yeah, it's insane. Or even before all that, you remember like Winnie the Pooh was banned because the president of China doesn't like the fact to be referred to like that he looks like Winnie the Pooh. So because of that, Winnie the Pooh was completely banned in China, and then anyone who makes that kind of crazy statement is either it's going to be banned too. So like I'm just like this is petty. It's not even like something that's counter like that is like a bad influence of the culture, but itself. But say that you have the power to do it, and then you do and you use it. It's petty, and it's just. It's so annoying. It's so sad to see. I mean, golly.
No, it really is. And that's like, excuse me, and that's from the government. You know what I mean? Like, I can imagine, you know, having that. I mean, that just having that overbearing, like knowing that kind of always having to look over your shoulder, making sure, like, I couldn't imagine, and that's coming from your government. I couldn't do it. I'd be like, nah, I'm out. You know, and again, I'm sure that a lot of them don't have the opportunity, don't have the funds or whatever. It's easier said than done, but I couldn't imagine, you know, having to be in a situation like that where your what you're seeing, what you're doing, how things work are all just being ran by the government. These people that have anointed themselves the leaders of the people. You know what I mean? That's
yeah, and I mean, oh, I'm sorry. What were we going to say, Pompadour?
No, you're fine. I was just gonna say, like, going back to like how it supposed like it breaks their terms for a political statement. Like, personally, I view everything going on in Hong Kong right now as human rights issues because it affects millions of people's lives. But like, it's like at the very least, because it's someone who never did anything that like Blizzard got mad at them before. They could have just been like, "Hey, we don't want people really doing this again." But like, it's just. The fact that it's just like putting the boot of their boot down on everybody.
I'm just saying,
it's
like,
ridiculous.
When you think about
it's insane.
The stuff that Blizzard has gone through, let alone, let's just say World of Warcraft. I mean, it's been around for 20 years, like about 20 years. Like just the crap that World of Warcraft itself has done, like has been through with players and stuff like that. Like you're telling me that what he did was worse than, like, you know, when people either try to like massively cheat or DDoS servers purposely, or like, I mean, all this different kinds of stuff that clearly happened, and you did all of this. I mean, Blizzard made it to a point where it's a lose-lose situation. They obviously they were planning on doing crowd control, because when people were doing the hashtag boycott Blizzard stuff, and then everyone was talking with their voices heard, was saying it's like how Twitter just blew up with all that. I knew that they were going to bow down to some of the things that they did, but at the same time, it's like you kind of put yourself in a position that's going to make you look like the villain for a while. I mean, like especially for like now you made Blitzchung a martyr on what you did towards this. So I mean, even though that if he was in the wrong too, you're making him look better because of what you did to him. And then two, it's and you know that the stuff that's coming in that's coming in daily on like on what y'all are doing it's not going. It won't make you look good in the long run, and it hasn't looked good for a little bit because of all of this. So, I mean, it's just. It's like, come on, Blizzard. I really like the games that y'all do. I mean, y'all. But just when you hear something like this, it just put like a giant red break to me. Like I uninstalled my game. I think for because of this stuff. And then and also, by the way, folks, it's like I will say this, like it's my own personal opinion that I think that I don't want to support what Blizzard did to this person. But if there's someone that does still play Blizzard games, because I know how people are petty that way, that they're gonna put this on that person. Don't be a dick. I mean, seriously.
Right.
I mean, like,
yeah. Like one of my friends still plays WoW. I'm not gonna be mad at him. There's still streamers that make their living off these Blizzard games. Like, they didn't do anything wrong. They still need a way to make money, even if they do eventually like transition to something else and play something other than these Blizzard games. Like, that's still where they're getting most of their income from, or like their views and all that. So like, don't blame them. Don't be mad if you see someone playing it still.
I literally played Overwatch last night.
How dare you?
Talked about it.
You know what? We're gonna put a statement at the end of this podcast saying that you're not going to be a part of the podcast anymore because of your views. Happen. So I'm sorry, but it is what it is. You know what you're getting into. Good.
She's just like good. Everyone's in chat, like playing, being all fun, and then at the end, everyone's just like, "Fuck Blizzard." every game. Every game, good game. Fuck Blizzard, good game.
Good game. Or like when he's done with the stream itself, it just at the end, just says like Hong Kong or some kind of thing. I don't know. But it's like,
it doesn't say victory. It just says free Hong Kong.
White on the border itself. Yeah, so it's all good. Well, I'm just saying. I'm sorry. Like it does irritate me. I mean, I do. It just irritates me when I saw this article of it, and then the whole process. Like, I'm glad that we do this podcast at the end of the week because we know it sits in, and we know the full kind of like a good process of all this happened. Right. Like on Monday it happened, or Sunday it happened, and then now we're at the end of the week and we have the full story on everything. So I'm just saying, like, it gives you time to kind of think about like where they're at on it, and this, I mean, like I said, this is, I guess, is the outcome that they decide to do. Is like, okay, it's not a win, it's not a lose, but it's a lose, and it's
definitely
lose,
yeah, they definitely take a L on this shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's just something that they did, and it's like, okay.
And then, like, just to top it off, like, there's a line in that the statement they made that just made me not take any of it even remotely serious. And it said something like, "We're here to provide epic gamer content," and I'm just like, what?
Wow.
It was just so tone deaf.
That's so bad. It's almost as bad as like if they added. Did we mention that we have surprise? What would they call loot boxes now? Surprise
mechanics. Those surprise mechanics. That's EA, dude.
Yeah, well, still they just steal that and just put it inside that thing. It's like, hey, more surprise mechanics coming in Overwatch or some kind of BS like that. I don't know.
Right.
Whatever. Yeah, we all know. Like if you don't like, we all know what's right and what's wrong. Activision Blizzard did something royally wrong, and we're all in agreement on that. I'm assuming, right?
Absolutely.
That's right. Why I'm glad Bungie is free now from Activision
and
Blizzard.
Absolutely.
I'm kind of wondering where that's going to go with Bungie, because I mean, this is their first time that they're on their own completely.
I'm excited for them.
I mean, I hope that they do really good, because, like, I mean, I guess they have Halo, and they don't really have Halo. I mean, they really have, all they have is Destiny, and hopefully they're going to be like a pigeonholed company that's going to be having to depend on it. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, okay. So let's get down to that was a good conversation. Wow, that was almost 30 minutes, Smitty.
Yeah.
Good one.
That had to be discussed.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
Definitely is.
definitely the
Definitely does.
biggest. It stayed the biggest news like all week long.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's probably going to be like a little bit. It's going to tone down a little bit. Probably the second week we're going to hear a little bit, but not as much as what we heard this week. So
Right.
Oh
that's
yeah.
good. All right. Anyways, Pompadour Princess, what do you have to bring to the table?
So because there's that, and then yours is basically the other big news item of the week. I've just got a few small little neat things that I found. So the
Okay.
first one is that Steam is currently working. Yeah, I got little tidbits in between the bigger conversations. So yeah, the first one I found was that Steam's next big feature that they're working on is they are making a thing so that any games that say local multiplayer will work online. And so what
awesome.
that's going to do, I'm looking super forward to it. It'll work with up to 4 computers, so like 4-player co-op basically. And it only needs 1 copy of the game, so whoever is hosting it. And what it'll do is like it'll essentially stream it to all the other people playing. And so your computer's going to have to be able to handle streaming it to the other players as well as handling all these inputs coming from online.
Mm-hmm.
So my like the problem I see with it currently is just latency issues for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like if your internet is not running fast enough, then like those inputs are going to be delayed, and that might be a bit janky, especially for like example that I can think of the top of my head would be like Ultimate Chicken Horse, which is like a multiplayer platforming chaos. And like if you got the host is working great and then everyone else's is like super laggy and not working and they can't like do any platforming, that might be a problem. But it's entering beta supposedly at the end of the month. That's another thing. Cool. Yeah, like Cuphead right there. Cuphead would be able to be played with people online, which would be great.
I'm surprised that
awesome.
actually do Cuphead online in general. I mean, that would have been a nice game to do online.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's entering beta supposedly at the end of the month. Maybe probably the beginning of next month, depending.
You know what's actually kind of cool? I was just thinking about this because I don't know if y'all know who Maximilian Dude is, but like he's a big he's a big fighting game. He's a big dude in the fighting game community, but he is also a giant advocate of like because one of the games that need like the best touch on wireless or on online fight games are fighting games because there's a lot of stuff that's happening.
Sure.
Like, button inputs moving and stuff like that. So there's a technology I might butcher it. It's called GGWO technology that's lagless. It's lagless technology that they introduced in America, but but for some reason in Japan they all want everything done in house. So it's always different per game. So what I'm saying in WWGO or I'm sorry GGWO is now they just officially said that it's now free. It's free for anyone to use in their programming, and it's a great lagless tool for online play. So it's possible, knowing how Steam does these kind of things, that if they use that technology, I don't think it's going to be as bad as I think it's going to be. Because like you're right. That's a lot of stuff to be doing. It's like you got to mirror the image. You're going to have to forward it to the 4 players, and then at the same time you have to depend on their connection as well to be communicating back to the server at a constant on a steady stream. And it's possible that your stream might be stronger than your upload might be higher than the other person's upload that you're playing with, or if you're playing like on the other side of the US, like you're in the West Coast and you're playing with someone on the East Coast. But no, I think that's a great idea. That'd be awesome to be playing.
Definitely like a really good idea. I'm just, if anything, it'll probably be in beta for like a long time till they get it all working perfectly.
That Donk Show from the Twitch stream said that they use a software called Parsec It's a software called Parsec. The problem with it dials the other players into your computer and can conflict with other software. They streamed Cuphead 2-player with Parsec. I've never heard of that before. That's pretty. So it sounds like there's already software and stuff that's already kind of doing stuff. So maybe with it being built into Steam, it'll make for a better experience being able to do that.
Now, I don't know Parsec myself personally, but the way that you're describing it, that Donk Show is describing it, is I'm assuming that they're saying that they're kind of depending on the kind of connections that you're playing with the players that you're playing with, as opposed to a central connection. So, like theoretically, like instead of you going to a specific server, you're depending. Are you depend? I mean, this is a question. I don't know legitimately what I'm talking about, but are you? Is he saying that Parsec works by the players that are playing with you, or can you be playing like does it get the information from like the server and then bring that information out back to you?
Well, it looks like he's saying it looks like he's saying
think it's
that
peer to peer.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like a remote, like they remotely like connect to your computer.
Yeah,
he was saying that you wouldn't want to do it with a stranger, but there's clearly vulnerabilities.
Oh yeah.
Now, if they say that kind of technology is going to go into Steam, then I will not do that because I do not trust that. Because technically, if we're children of the '90s, we have experienced that, and I am never going to do that again. So yeah, no. Now, if it's a centralized server, it would make more sense because it's actually more secure that way to branch for it to be responsible to branch out. And plus, peer-to-peer connections you're using a lot of work for your computer to be doing that kind of getting that kind of data, because not only is it giving the data out to the specific game that you're playing, but you're also getting the data of what that person's playing that's the same as you, and you have to sync it. It has to be synced somehow. So yeah, that would be that would be a nightmare to mess around with when I think about it. I'm a network engineer, so that's the way I'm looking how all this stuff works, and I'm like, oh my god, no.
I think it's interesting though, and I'm curious to see what it looks like and what their infrastructure looks like. I think it'll probably be a little cleaner, hopefully. But again, it coming out in beta, and then hopefully people will be able to give feedback. They'll be able to work on it and make a product that does that and allows you to do that in a safe, secure way. I think it's going to be fantastic if they're able to accomplish that.
You know what I want to probably put the test on is the Power Rangers fighting game, because not only is the Power Rangers, the new one. Oh yeah, that's a really good game too.
I did not know that.
Yeah, the Power Rangers fighting game not only has a very good connection online, but they also programmed it so it can do cross-platform play. So now, since Sony officially announced cross-platform play is available, they'll be able to flip a switch and see how the communication. I'm keeping an eye on that one, because like if it's working perfectly on how with that one, they may have a carbon copy of what they would need to do for something like local play. So that'll be pretty interesting. So that so I would definitely I would definitely keep my eyes on that. Wow, that was a good one. Was there something else too that you wanted to add, Pompadour?
Yeah, I had another small little one where NVIDIA is going to be remastering some classic games with ray tracing. So they have done it already with Quake 2 RTX is what they called it, which you got that added for free if you already owned Quake 2. Like you got Quake 2 RTX for free. But yeah, right now they haven't really announced what other things they're doing. They are, quote, cherry picking some of the greatest titles from the past decades and bringing them into the ray tracing age, giving them state-of-the-art visuals while keeping the gameplay that made them great. They apparently have some secret ones that are in the works that they're doing. I have a feeling one of them would probably end up being like Half-Life 2 or Portal 1.
Oh, like Portal needs an update, like needs a remaster. Like I don't know how that game has not come across I do. It's a Steam game, so like it's Orange Box. They don't make games anymore. Just call it. They don't make games.
Yeah, they don't. They need other people to remaster games now. But
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so that'll be interesting to see how that looks. Because like, I mean, there's other games like mods for sure have always tried to add things, but like having someone officially like redo these things might be interesting, especially now that NVIDIA is getting ray tracing to be more practical.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, we saw the ray tracing on Minecraft, and that was insane. So
it looked gorgeous. It looked absolutely gorgeous.
Just really pretty cubes.
Yeah.
But like, I went to school for computer design, animation, game design, and like ray tracing just for animation is painful and slow and takes forever. So for them to be able to like finally get it to start working in real time is just nuts. And I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Look at it.
Man, I'm kind of tired of getting. Oh, I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
No, I was saying, are you looking at it? Because I think this is what it looks like, right? With the ray tracing. Yeah, I was like, look, that already looks so clean. It's amazing what lighting and shadowing and stuff like that really brings to games. At least the backgrounds, like that dude still look like crap. Mm-hmm. But at least the background looks great. So.
Well, like look at the water. Look at the water reflections. Like
there's some questionable stuff though. There's some questionable shapes there.
It's definitely gonna bring out some of them polygons for sure.
You know, the game I wish they did do ray tracing on would be Jedi Academy 2. That would be amazing. That would be a cool one to do.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I would love to do that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of those that I miss. I love what they're doing though. And I love the fact that they're giving these older games a fresh update. You know what I mean? It makes it fun to go back and kind of re-experience some of these classic games. Or if you're, even for newer gamers or people that have never played these games, just to have that opportunity, but it be more in a space that we're accustomed to nowadays graphically, as opposed to the clunky, it's hard to get into games where where technology is now. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like you gotta really enjoy it to want to go back and play something that looks like that. So it's nice, and I think it kind of breathes new life into these older games that people may not have had the opportunity to experience before. Gives them kind of an incentive to be like, let me go check this out. It doesn't look so bad, and go and experience this like so many other people have. So I think it's awesome.
Oh, no, I totally agree. I kind of feel like that's actually meant for the people who aren't like, more newer people, like that to kind of caters to the newer crowd, because it's hard for me to decide to say, yes, I want to go back to a game that I played years ago. And then it's like, oh, but we added ray tracing to it. It's like, oh, that's good for you, but I already still beat it. So I don't think I want
to experience it again.
I don't want to experience it again. It was a fun game, and then I don't need it again. So I mean, it was good. It was fun. But for the most part, I feel that that those kind of like doing that, it must be cheap to do. I mean, I guess it's because it's more graphical than going into the game's code. But I totally agree. I totally agree.
I totally played Quake 2.
I can even see them getting like real crazy, getting even some like newer games, like I said, like Portal. I mean, it's newer, so to speak. It's not Quake 2 old, but it's still older. Or like they did just come out with the last year, the Dark Souls remastered. But if they were to add ray tracing to something like that, that would be insane.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see that they are able to they are working on going back and adding it to games that previously didn't have it.
Oh wow, yeah.
Because I feel like that, because the thing with we're hitting kind of the peak of graphical quality that we can hit nowadays, and adding ray tracing is basically the next step. Essentially, we can make things look super smooth and nice, but lighting has always been a problem. Getting realistic lighting, and with that being added to things, I can see them just re-releasing tons of like PS3 and like PS4 era, like those eras of the consoles. Like I can see them totally re-releasing those with new lighting added.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Man, I can't even imagine how that nonsense goes. I mean, but dang, that's awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to cut yours a little short. Don't want to, but we're kind of running out of time. So, but thanks,
Yeah.
thank you for your, thank you so much for your.
Yeah, no, I'm totally fine.
Awesome. All right, so we got one more topic up on the stage, and it is mine. And mine is also going to be about the other big topic that came out this week, which was the announcement, the reveal of PS5 that they gave. I wouldn't even. Would you call it a reveal? I don't think I would call it a reveal. Overall, but
they officially said it exists.
Yeah. So yeah, they did. I guess they did announce that they're making the PS5 is real. It's probably like the world's worst kept secret now, just as Scarlet is now too. But so PS5 is real. So now it's officially called the PS5 to no one's surprise, and but they actually had a tentative range date of when it's going to be launched, which is going to be in 2020 of the holiday season. So so that's kind of no surprise.
That's sooner than I thought.
Really?
Yeah, it's like considering they just got the newer, better PS4s. Now that they're doing that, they've been talking about it for a while for sure. But
when you think about it, PS4 has been around for over 6 years. And that's a pretty good range for one they usually do.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so so I think that it's a good time for them to start it. They definitely need to do it. They did say it's going to be backwards compatible to PS4 to PS5. Thank God. So that's good news. Yeah,
that's good.
Now I understand why they couldn't. Okay, I understand why they couldn't do backwards compatibility from PS3 to PS4 because of the format of the physical equipment was completely different. It's 9 day different, but the thing that still pisses me off is the fact that you can't use anything digital from PS3 like Scott Pilgrim versus the World. And that's locked on your PS3 forever. You can't they will never make another one because they lost the rights to it. But that stuff kind of makes me mad. But anyways, I'm digressing. So they did announce on the blog usplaystation.com, which is another thing I will say, they were very casual on releasing this information too. They didn't really there was usually when they have an announcement of a new console system, they usually kind of throw the bells and whistles to press and stuff, letting people know, have a look at it and stuff like that. This one they just posted on their blog page, and then everyone else read the hype for it. So but
that's almost what they did with the crossplay announcement.
Yeah,
the crossplay announcement was non-existent. I mean, that's what it was. It wasn't even on blog. That was bad. Last week when I saw that, I was like, wow, no one really knew about that one, and I'm glad we actually said something. But there's two big features that they're definitely hyped up about. One of them is the fact that they're going to be using a 100 speed what's it called, high definition Blu-ray player or whatever they call it, 4K. Oh no, it's a 4K player. And then 100 gigs. It's the 100 gig hard drive down. So that means that once you install stuff on the hard drive, it's a lot faster because the PS4 is 50. And also the way that they're going to install games are going to be a little bit different than what the current system uses to make it even faster for that. So nice. And so the other thing is going to be using an SSD drive instead of using a mechanical drive, which is going to also give it more speed. And they're also finally retiring the analogs, the analog system of the controller. There is a new controller that they're going to be releasing. I'm assuming it's going to look somewhat the same, but we don't know yet. But instead of using analogs, it's going to be using haptic. So a haptic system. So the less nerd vomit I'm going to say is basically this. It's basically this. So this is a Wii, a Switch controller is using haptic. So it's basically pressured points. So if you're going in mud, it's going to react as if it's going to be sloshy and stuff like that in mud. So it's going to give you a different level of inversion like of subvert. I mean, like uh like it makes you want to be in the game even more than what you were normally pushing in just regular Rumble. So I like the idea. Haptic. I've had haptic technology. I've messed with haptic technology before in the past. It was really cool. So it's going to be lighter too as well. So that's what's going to be very interesting on this. So holiday season 2020. Would you get this on like when it comes out? Smitty or Pompadour? Would y'all?
I am day one. I am day one. I said I wasn't gonna do it, but I am a filthy liar. I am a loot slooting son bitch, and I have to have this. Like this is gonna be. I knew this is so like. I feel like they're always on like a 6 to 7 year cycle when it comes to consoles and coming out with new consoles. So I feel like this is lining up. You know what I mean? Right in line with when they come out with this. So I knew that there was something that was going to be announced. I am ready for it next holiday season. As soon as I can pre-order it, I will pre-order it. I will have it day one because I have to. Now, I don't know if are they going with that design? Is that the legit design of it, or is that still? That's not right.
That's a test. Yeah, that's the
okay.
that's the
okay.
Yeah, I was like, that is a terrible design.
It's so bad. Let's make our console V-shaped.
Yeah. Stu, day one.
We're so mad about that. I was just like, there obviously are test consoles. They're not going to show what the real console look like. Like Jesse, it's what's funny about that too is that just this week, they've developers finally got a look of how the controller is going to look like. So so yeah, it's just the process. So people just be patient. It's going to be good.
Yeah, no, it will be. It will be dope. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I'm looking forward. It's wishful thinking if I would be able to day one buy it, but I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Smitty a copy of Anthem for PS5.
Oh, you get out of my face, dude! You get out of my face. We don't use the A word around here, boy. All right.
I'll give you a copy of Anthem. I'll be like, hey.
Dude, they're not even talking about Anthem anymore, man. They don't even look at it. They don't even look at Anthem. That is the redheaded stepchild. They're just like, Anthem. What's Anthem? I've never heard of that. Like,
I think they actually stated that they're no longer making more content for Anthem too.
No,
like it already it happened. Stopped so quick. Like they're like, we're going to work on Anthem for a while, and then now they're just like, let's forget we made this.
Yeah.
It's
terrible.
Dead, right?
It is so dead.
It's like you just got to go with that reality. It's going.
It is. It's uninstalled. It's uninstalled. I did it. I said I'm done with you. I'm walking away.
You're not the owner of my life, though.
That's right. That's right. You can't. I'm no longer a prisoner to you. Oh, man.
In the case of the PS5, I think, in my opinion, man, I really don't want to think that I won't get that system opening day, but I might. Shoot, I might buy two. But the biggest problem is like, yeah, it's like because like, dude, I got one for like I usually get one for review. I got a reviewing machine, and I got one for myself. So I got one for the other room, and then I got the ones for the games that we get for reviews. So right there, do it right there for have someone else to do it. So but for the most part is like, man, I don't know. It's going to be an expensive machine. It's going to have to be like I told you the range it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a $600 box because I think they still have a bad taste in their mouths from the PS3 when it first came out. So, but I still think it's going to be around $400 to $500. So it's not going to be a cheap machine, especially with all the stuff that they're saying they're adding to it. Like, I mean, the minimum has to be a 1 terabyte hard drive. So 1 terabyte hard drive with an SSD, with a speed of 100, that's 2 times faster than the original speed alone is going to be an expensive. That alone is an expensive piece of equipment. And the disc player, which probably that's not going to be a big issue. Is I don't know. It's going to be pricey. It's going to be pricey, and that's where it's going to be the break for me.
I still remember when the PS3 like came out and it was so expensive, and yet it was still the cheapest Blu-ray player you could buy.
Yeah,
God,
that's
yeah.
true.
And now look at them.
Oh,
Like,
well, like, I was so particular on the PS3 because, well, my favorite PS3 was the second gen, the slim, not the super slim. The super slim seems like it was like something that they made out of cheap plastic. But yeah. But my original PS3 was the Metal Gear Solid PS3 that was backwards compatible, software based backwards compatible, not hardware. So I was able to play PS2 games and stuff, and I came to that realization that we didn't really need that. We didn't really need backwards compatibility, because like when at one point when it comes to one point in time, you're going to you're not going to come back to something that old, like the library of catalogs of games are that old. If you are, you're going to have the console anyways, so like to do it. So I mean, I don't think that it was like it was justifiable to do it, so I can kind of understand why they didn't on this. Now the PS3 to PS4 is a little different, but it was but for the PS3, no, there was no reason to. It was very odd, but yeah, so that's coming. I hope everyone else is planning on getting it. I hope everything else is going to be yeah, I hope everyone else is going to be getting it too. I know here's a question though before I close this off. Like, are you in any way like interested in what Scarlet may bring to the table next gen?
No.
not really. I've never been crazy for the Xbox consoles, and like at this point, I'm just like,
yeah, I don't need to experience what it's like. I've gone this long, and plus with the Game Pass being on PC, I could just get the Game Pass now. I mean, obviously, I don't have the newest games, but I think they're still developing that, and it'll get better as long as I can have access to their games. Because that's the only thing I've missed is some of their exclusives. So it's been nice to be able to go back and play some of those. But yeah, I have no interest in Xbox. I just don't.
I never bought an Xbox I'll admit I never bought an Xbox myself, but but you never keep an eye open just in case maybe there's a feature or something that they're doing. I'm making moves that they haven't done before that could possibly make them change, kind of pivot the other way of what we see them as now. Because I mean, Xbox One, it was game wise was very disappointing to have.
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of why I'm like not interested at all about what they're gonna do next, because they're just like the only reason to get an Xbox at this point would be for exclusives, and there's just not any exclusives there that make it worth buying it.
Especially if you have a good PC. So like that also kind of goes back to where Smitty says like, hey, Xbox Game Pass is on PC now, so it's kind of like, and then they did promise that all their games are coming on PC too. So it's like, what's the point of having an Xbox? Okay, I just wanted to know. That was just a simple question. I was thinking the same thing, but I'm so conflicted with Xbox Game Pass. It's not even funny. I'll probably talk off.
I might look at it, dude. Who knows? I don't. You know what I mean? It's like I want to be open to all. I don't want to discriminate against any gaming platform. I want them all. So I might eventually get it. You know what I mean? And eventually, down the road a little bit, be like, all right, let's pick it up. So. I love games, so I don't care where I have to play them. I just want to play them.
But you have a justifiable reason to play them, though, or justifiable reason to get them on that specific system.
Right, exactly.
There has to be some sort of limitations for you to do that. I understand, but okay, that's cool, folks. This was episode number 24 of the CFG Gamecast. I'd like to thank Pompadour Princess to being our guest. Thank you for. We were really glad to having you on this episode.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, like Flex asked me like 2 days ago, I think it was, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? It's been fun.
Awesome. Oh, that's great. And would you like to? Is there anything that you'd like to stream, or if you want to promote your Twitch page as well on here?
I mean, you could just go to twitch.tv/Pompadour Princess. I'm probably gonna be playing Destiny in a bit. I'm probably gonna eat some dinner. and probably take a shower because I didn't get a chance to when I got home from work. So
Yeah.
I'll probably be back on like an hour or so.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Smitty, what are you up to? Promote yourself as always, man.
Dude, I'm just chilling out tonight. I've been grinding through American Horror Story, so I'm on the 8th season now. I'm about halfway through that. Might kill that. I know Aladdin's up too, so we're talking about watching Aladdin tonight and just probably chill out and then play a little Destiny later. But yeah, other than that, streams live Thursday. This coming up Thursday, Friday, and then we'll be back live with the another episode of the podcast next Saturday or Sunday. So
it's going to be on Smitty's channel too, by the way, next week on Smitty 2447. So definitely check that out. And also, and then as always, I'm probably just going to play some more Monster Hunter. I'm trying to get all the mantles now, so you can always check us out there. We always welcome any player who wants to play with us. We have the key right on our title page. And we're actually picking up a nice little community of players that likes to play with us. So definitely, we'd love to have anyone to come. And also on November, just wanted to also repeat it. November 9th, the gang is going to be together physically. We're going to probably. I am leaning. I really want to do a live podcast, like all of us together in one room. Yeah. So I really am going to set that up, and we'll go with that. And we're going to be doing a 24-hour stream over on this page on CFG Games to raise money for the Phoenix Children's Hospital through Extra Life. So definitely swing on by. Any donation, you want to donate $1, you want to donate $100, you want to donate $100,000, you want to donate a copy of Anthem for Smitty, we'll definitely do that. but any little bit helps. So definitely check
us out. Make a gigantic donation and we'll convince him to play it.
We'll get 5 anthems.
By convincing him, you mean we trap him in a room till he plays it.
It's torture.
We have 24 hours. There's going to be the lull nights, like 2 a.m. to 5. He's playing Anthem by himself. That's all we're doing. All right.
You see all of us in the back playing like party games, and then he's just stuck there playing Anthem.
Oh, it's like, can I come out? Like, no, you got to finish the game. All right.
But
anyways, this is Davis signing off with Pompadour and Smitty. Y'all, take it easy.